Hi, I'm Michaela Santisi. I'm 17 and I'm a collager because I have two moms.
Hi, I'm Scott. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a collager because I have two dads.
Hello, I'm Katie. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a collager because I have queer moms.
Hi, I'm Elier, he, him pronouns. I've got two dads.
Hi, my name is Chloe Elderkin. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a collager because I have two dads.
You don't have to disclose your family structure until you're ready. If you're not comfortable sharing, you can always talk about it later and choose who and when you feel comfortable to disclose this to.
When it comes to school assignments about families, the majority of the time is about a mom and a dad, but that's not always the case. When you have these assignments, for example, like Mother's Day and Father's Day, it can be difficult for some people with LGBTQ families. Some advice to things I would highlight would be one, talking to your teacher. Talking to your teacher is a great way to let them know what's going on with your family behind the scenes. So you don't have to share it in front of your class. Letting them know that you might want to do two of the projects for Mother's Day or Father's Day, depending on, having two dads or two moms or etc. Just not doing the project in general and just kind of having like an alternative way of doing something at the same time as everyone else, or just doing something for another figure in your life, like another father figure or mother figure or whatever. Another way I would recommend going about this is just knowing that you don't have to let anyone know about your family. It can be difficult at times, you have the right to share your experience whenever you want to. This is very sacred and it's different. And it can be scary sometimes knowing, that you have this different family and kind of feel like an outcast. And maybe it'll take you more time than others to adjust to that. So even if, you don't want to share anything, you could email your teacher instead, or just simply just not really say anything. But I would recommend simply just talking to your teacher face to face.
This is what you should do if other kids are asking invasive questions about your family. You don't have to answer. You could just walk away. You could also tell them how the question was inappropriate, or you could just ask them the same question right back to them, because it would probably seem a little weird to hear that question.
So, one situation that many younger collagers face is that when you invite a friend over from school or from wherever, they may not feel comfortable coming over to your house because you have LGBTQ parents. This has definitely happened to me probably 2 or 3 times when I was in elementary and middle school. And you have to learn how to deal with that kind of situation when you are a collager. I would recommend finding an alternative. So asking if maybe they could go hang out at a mall or a park or at their house, because many times the uncomfortableness comes from being inside the collager's home. In addition, you can always ask them why they feel uncomfortable, or if there's anything you can clear up. Maybe not at the exact instance that they say they feel uncomfortable, because that might cause a little conflict, but later on saying, I understand you don't want to come to my house, but can I ask why? And then starting that open dialogue can maybe help you reduce their bias for the future. And it's always important to remember that they're not trying to hurt your feelings by not wanting to come over, but it's most likely their parents who don't fully accept or understand your family dynamic. So you have to understand that it more than likely is better off that they don't come over, because if they felt uncomfortable or they felt like their parents would be uncomfortable with them coming over, it won't be as much fun hanging out with them anyway. And then if it starts becoming a little bit hostile or you just feel super uncomfortable, you could always talk to your parents and have them know what the situation is. And once they know this, they might be able to contact their parents, or just, forget about it and you can ask somebody else, because maybe the friendship won't work out and maybe you can't hang out outside of school, but it will be better off in the long run because you want to surround yourself with people who would feel comfortable around you and your family.
I disclosed my family to a friend, and they outed my upbringing without my permission. I would first confront them about it, because oftentimes people will not realize that that might be sensitive information or very personal information that we don't feel comfortable with sharing. So I think the best thing that we can do is first talk to them about it, because it seriously could be an honest mistake where they just didn't realize that you didn't want others to know. And I think if you approach it not in an accusatory way, but more so in a way, a very gentle way, it's almost like you have to educate people in order for it to actually stick, and to make sure that if they do meet another collager, they don't do the same thing. So you have to be very gentle about it. But of course, if they did mean it to be to disrespect you, I would say the best method to tackle that is probably, if it's a classmate, maybe to talk to a teacher about it, or a guidance counselor. Or if it's an at-home friend, to talk to your parents about it. And I think, just especially in that case, if they did mean to be rude, the best option to resolving the issue is probably speaking to an adult if they continue to attempt to disrespect you or hurt you, because it's likely not so much about your family that they're trying to hurt you, but more so an issue within themselves as opposed to an issue that they have with you, I think.